Again, this is Old Man PHP. I create PHP video tutorials for the old guys who want to learn a new skill and compete with the young crowd. This is video number 49. On the last few videos, I have given you how to create a smooth scroll app, how to display a rotating images on your page. I showed you how to create a dynamic way of creating a menu. I also provided you with two different contact forms. I showed you how to create a bad word algorithm and how to use AJAX. I have given you a way to read a JSON file and how to read, insert, delete, update to a database. I also gave you a short video of how to add a field in a database table. By the way, there will be another video that's going to explain SQL and MySQL database in the future. In this video, I'm going you a more complete website with all the features that you learned already, and you'll be able to take this and make it your template and resource. You can use parts of it or all of it to create your new project. Remember, I told you it has all the things that they actually most of the time, man, all my clients always ask for the same type of thing. Yes, the design will be different, but the mechanism for you to get this done will be the same because I'm giving it to you right here. I'm giving it to you here now. Instead of doing a video where I'm typing each line, I'm using the same stuff that I showed you before, but I added a whole bunch of stuff on that. This is the website I'm talking about that we will continue. Remember, we had the form, this form right here. Remember this one? See, I cleaned it out, added nice little buttons and stuff. Remember, look how pretty this is. And it's even, let's see if we can make this into a smaller, see? Check it out. This is what you see on the cell phone. Isn't that great? Back to the menu. I even gave you sections like the affiliate, in case you have affiliates, you know, that you belong to, that you can put it in there. I belong to Flip4, Mac, GoDaddy, Rescue Time, and a whole bunch of other ones I just didn't want to put. I just showed you some few there. Then, of course, you got your rotating image. Remember, I put it all here. All those videos, I put them all and combined them into this one thing. Plus, I added more design elements so that way you can take it. So, well, I can use this website. All I have to do is change this, and that. And if I wanted this, I can use it, or I can make the whole thing like from here to here. This, what I'm showing you here, I'll show you in a minute. And then I added a card system just in case you needed it. Now, this card system is not going to go into all the things that, like, once you hit them subscribe. Remember, this is going to when you subscribe to this, it's going to put you in another website that I also created just to show you that you can also do this kind of thing. Okay, let me show you in a minute. Then this is a website design part that I added in case you wanted to do these kind of designs. This design was done for a project I did for artists. You know, people can they can join up as be a membership. It's actually a membership website, and then within them they got their own dashboard, and they can create their own website on the go real quick. Once you join, it does all this for you. It builds it all for you. It gives it to you. This design, this one design. This is another. By the way, this right here rotates to different pitches. Over here, I'm going to show you in a minute. Then, of course, even though this is only images, none of these buttons are going to work, but at least you get to see what I'm talking about, okay? I even gave you a model too, you know, like those little pop-up things. I'm going to show you that. And of course, your contact form, I added the little icons and all of them. Remember, we got that from Awesome, right? So like in here, remember all the names. I added the name last. I also added URL. I added. Let me expand this so you can see it a little better. As you can see, I added, these are the ones you saw already, right? You can create this, you can upload a file. But I also added fields like the select field, you know how you select a field, or a checkbox field, and of course your radio buttons, you know, if you're male, female, and then once you submit it, the actual algorithm of this whole thing, which is this stuff right here, will break it down and it'll be treated like any other input fields like this. So I want to do this because I want to show, oh, by the way, this is the actual footer down here, powered by Convert to WordPress. That's my little thing. Um, what I do is convert HTML files into WordPress files or create WordPress stuff using you know, the theme, or create them from scratch. Plus I added these little buttons so you can go to Facebook, Pinterest, and Twitter, which is right now X, but I kind of did this. It will work. These will work. When you hit this, you go to Facebook, this and that. This just does what we have up here. Although I should have put the header right here on this one, which I will do that. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, all this stuff, let me show you real quick, okay? Now remember I told you these little things are from this stuff here. Font Awesome. So if you go like this, okay, you get whatever you want, right? Let's say you wanted eyes. You click on the eyes. You take this, right? Copy it. And then on here, you just add it. You add it in anyway. It could be in the H1s. It could be in the A. I mean, it could be anywhere. You can add it anywhere. I'm going to show you in a second. Okay, so let's get back to the CRUD, right? So I just wanted to do this. Oh, by the way, of course, you know, it looks nice when you do this, right? I just wanted to show you that it could be done. This is your logo. This is, of course, when you click it, it goes right back to this a little logo I gave it. You don't have to have that, but I gave you an idea where you can put your own logo in your stuff, right? Of course, you got your banner. This is created. I'm using, of course, what is it I'm using? I'm using Adobe Illustrator to do this, and I also use the Photoshop. But for now, I love Adobe Illustrator because you can get to do all this stuff. It's good stuff. And I will have a course on how you can do a nice banner like this, okay? Then, of course, you know, each remember I told you everything is a div. One of these things. It's a div, and anything you write in between it, then you close it up like this. But because you're using HTML5, you can use stuff like header, footer, I mean, all kinds of stuff, which you're going to see in a minute, right? So then I put the, of course, your font awesome right there. Maybe a nice little paragraph. Of course, I spaced it out nicely. This button just takes you right back over here real quick. This is the About Us. I kind of wrote, hey, hi guys, my name is the old man. I create videos, blah, blah, blah. I have programmed in several different languages over the years. COBOL, Fortran, Assembler, Data Tree, blah, blah, blah. I worked with WordPress environment, have created several, so the same thing that I kind of said on my first introduction video. I've created memberships, CMS, social type website. I also involved with all kinds of projects. And if you go back, you go right back, okay? So you can do that. If I wanted the affiliation, I can also say, please keep it. Now you can just, this is another div, and within the div, you got a whole bunch of other stuff. And then, of course, you break this down into several different columns. You can do, I like 3, always keep it 3, and it'll And once it becomes, what is that, responsive, let me see. See how it stacks up on top of each other? It's the same thing with these guys, with these pitches, with this stuff, see? Stacks up. This movement that we've seen, what is it? This thing here it's the whole over command. I put it there. I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm just trying to show you real quick. Now this whole thing is what creates this whole website. Look how simple it is, how nice it is, and all that. If the music is a little too loud, let me know, guys, on the comment below, and then I'll make sure I tone it down even more. Just like to have something in the background when I'm working. Then, of course, remember I showed you the rotation. I showed you this is a next show. This is actually a website that I created for Ella's financial strategies. This person, fantastic. I tell you, I've been working with her. And what I did is I took each of these section and I kind of made it into an image so it can rotate right away. You can change the rotation. As you can see here, I even gave you a little explanation what the thing is. This stuff here is going to have a lot of comments, so you're not going to get lost. And of course, you're not going to know everything, but at least the PHP stuff you're going to recognize because I've been showing you. But you can do this, and it's kind of nice, you know. You can even slow it down. All you have to do is go to JavaScript, which I have shown you here too. That JavaScript is going to show you all these good things too, right? So all you have to do is just follow what I have, change it around, play around with it, do what you have to do, right? I mean, you can't go wrong because what I'm giving you here is what they ask for. You might have a website that you don't even need this, but at least you have it. Everything that I possibly thought about, that I know for sure they asked for, I did it, okay? And then, of course, your card system. Yes, this does not work. This is not a real, although you can make this kind of do this, like this. See how that movement? We can do that. And so this card system, what happens is you make a card system, you can sell a lot more. I'm only selling this $25 a month, right, for an artist. And if you click on this, let's see if we can click this on a separate page. Now, a little slow. We're using Stripe for my mechanism to do the payment. See how easy it is? You can create your own little thing here, and then you can build it up, of course, to something else. You can use Stripe. See, you go straight to Stripe, but just sending that information. Remember, somebody clicked, they want to pay 25 bucks. They can put their names. They can do. This is real, by the way. If you wanted to join, this is how you do it. Put your credit card. You do all this stuff. Look, it's not fantastic. I'm giving you this with the Stripe. I will show you how to do this part in another video, okay? So basically, if I went here, let me show you something. Now that we're here, see this is the website I'm talking about that shows you all these things. I'm gonna matter of fact, this particular website here, this whole thing, this took like 2 years because it's not just this nice little brochure website. It shows you the different type of design that I'm giving people. It's a membership that goes into a dashboard, which you have to join to get into it. Of course, just to see how this moves like this. This is a drawing that I did of an actor. I think you recognize that actor that does all these comedies, right? I kind of wanted to put it there because I'm actually showing this is a thing for a membership for artists to want to join up and have their own thing, right? They'll be able, it's an e-commerce website on top of that. But this is kind of explaining the story, right? I'll show you how you can do design of how to tell a story. How you start out like this, you keep going, and you build up to it. You show them artwork. You tell them this. Here's questions, right? This using font. Awesome, right? So questions and answers. You got this here that gives you all this stuff. This is all for both for art. So these are the prices that a lot of people actually ask for. So if you have a website small, like 8 to 16 pages, it's $2,000 to $9,000. But of course, you can work out with somebody with just 4 simple pages for like $700. As long as this is only a brochure, this is more like a e-commerce products like this, database product. We charge money. Anyway, we got more questions. What to do with a domain? You're secure. We use SSL. Responsive website. Remember I showed you that already. Of course, that's what I'm showing you a few minutes ago. Stripe is a good thing. You mash that together with the stuff you're doing with the card system, and boom, let Stripe take care of all the payment stuff. And of course, you got these. These are designs that I've done. Let me show you about. These are also artwork that I've created a long time ago. This is small. It's like a 8 by, what is it, 12 by 6, or I forgot. And this is kind of how much it costs. This is all done with pens. Anyway, so this is what the actual dashboard will look like. If you did join up, it gives you a way of adding your images and your titles and stuff. Of course, this is kind of what it looks like, really. You can even remove the things if you want to. Once you join up, you get to see all this stuff. That's why I can't show you this particular website. Is the same type of website that I'm kind of showing you. Let's go down a little bit more so I can show you the dashboard of this. See, dashboard kind of looks like this. Once you join, you get to do all this stuff. You can add pictures, the about me pages, blah blah blah. Then here, look, it keeps track of the database stuff like your pictures and all that. You can delete, you can update, all this stuff. I'm going to get it done in the future, but for now, we're concentrating on this thing. So basically, if you hit this, that's what gives you that. Okay, let me get rid of that. So now, this situation is also website design. You can go like this. Now, I also gave you Molder. Now, Molder is like those little things that pop up. Like if I hit this, right? See this? I'm giving you this too, and I'm giving you all the stuff that you need, the Bootstrap stuff that you need with the CSS and the JavaScript. I'm giving you that. See, you can do each one. It's kind of what they look like. This is an example website. They got their work. They could do. Remember that stuff that I showed you a few minutes ago? That's what this is really. Then they got their 4 different designs if you want it, because basically you just want to sell your stuff, right? You can make it look nice like this, have explanation about me, a contact form, all that stuff. I'm giving it to you. With this stuff, I'm giving it to you. See the contact form? Now remember I showed you how you could do like if you're here, right, and you say, remember the bad words? You can say apple is a bad word. See how it takes it away? If you put, let's say Fred, which is okay. Let's jump in. Let's say we say bad apple again. It's all going to be in all of them. And if for some reason you do not put a name on here, like if you went like from here to here without putting something, you're going to get this. See? Please enter proper last name value, which is right here. So what do? You say 1. Then if you jump in, and if you put an email. So if you put the email in, let's put an email. Let's say and@aol.com. Does AOL still exist? Here we didn't do it, but if you don't want to know bad words either, but if you jump from here to here, that's okay. You know why? Because a lot of people don't have URLs, right? So you just make sure you keep it off, but you are checking. This part right here, this stuff doing this stuff right there here is actually JavaScript doing it, because everything is being done on the client side, which is the browser side. When you enter information and you hit what is it? Like right here, insert. Then it inserts to the database, but before you insert into a database, of course, you go through all those sanitizing and validation. Remember, I showed you that already. But I wanted to add that you can do this, you can add this, you can say that, you know what I mean? You can also upload if you want to, and all that good stuff. Same thing here, if you had Apple, takes it out. It's fantastic stuff. Let's reload this again. Let's just Let's reload. So this is basically what I'm giving you. It's got all the good things. Now here's the stuff. Now remember, I showed you that you can do, for security reason, do this. See, this is the name of the. If you change this to your different name of yours, make sure it's changed here. Otherwise, it's going to jump down to. Let's see if we can get down there. You're going to say you are not allowed to access this site. Okay. All right. Now remember, I told you that we do this global because these 5 global variables I want to use it to declare. To have the reason why I'm doing it this way because I want to, since we're calling each other all the time, and you use in this particular thing, I'm using functions, and functions are using other things. But when you call each other out, like in other words, the moment you hit these buttons, every time you press these buttons over here, it goes right back with a message, and then it jumps through here. It does, oh, that's good, right? And it goes through all this again, right? Now remember, functions, they don't run on their own, only when you invoke them, okay? So what I did was, remember how I showed you that what is it that I want to show? Let's go back up there. Right, so remember how I showed you that you can check if you have this in a form? Remember that form that I showed you? Now remember, everything starts here. All this doesn't get done, believe it or not. All of this stuff does not get done yet, except for maybe this part right here, because it's checking, right? Other than that, it just goes straight down. It's just getting things ready. Yeah, it got big. Remember how it was big from the beginning? But right now, I just want to get to, matter of fact, let's search it, okay? Let's go HTML right here. Okay, here. So if we come over here, it'll do all this, right? Remember that this is HTML5. It's going to give you ideas. You're going to be able to use all kinds of different headers, like header and nav or footer, those kind of things, sections, so different kinds of stuff, right? So basically this is what you see here, this whole website. See this? It'll give you your title, which is what you see here. CRUD, let me see. You see it right there? CRUD project. And of course viewport, right? Because it gives you responsive design, right? So when you go like this, it responds nicely and it stacks on top of each other. It is that helps out. And of course, you got your metas, your description. Remember that stuff when you go to Google and you say CRUD project and it comes up with a little link. Now, a small little paragraph underneath that. That's what this is right here. That's why it's important that you get it right. Right here, it's just simple because I'm just showing you something that's simple. Now, remember the minified CSS, that stuff that I told you before, that we do the bootstrap, we do the bootstrap JavaScript. This is bootstrap JavaScript, bootstrap CSS. This is your jQuery because that's what we're using. Remember I told you before that jQuery is JavaScript, right? It's a framework, right? And it kind of helps you out with all kinds of stuff, right? When you do this stuff, man, it'll help you out. Remember, this is just all this. Of course, I put style. Remember I told you I prefer that you did it like this, and outside, call it back in. Even though if it's sitting in your same server, you just put it right here. But sometimes I like to kind of add I wanted to show you that you can be done. You see, all you have to do is say styles, put all your little body. This is what each one should look like. That's your LI. This is your grid. That's the stuff that gives you this feel of grid, like it's like a grid type of thing. Got 3 columns. That's what that is. And of course, I have one link too that I created for just another extra stuff that I wanted to show you. Also wanted to show you that this can be in front of that. Remember, everything is a stack. If I put this in front of this, it'll probably look a little different. But I'm stacking them. So I did this first. The The compiler will look at this, the interpreter say, oh, I'm doing this, doing this. Oop, let's do this. And then it'll take over from what everything you do here, it'll do other things on top of this. Right? It's like stacked up. Remember I told you that HTML5 makes it easy for you to say header. Usually it used to be in the old days, we used to say div like this. But we're not doing that. You could do that too because I've done it already. I'm actually showing you that I'm doing it. Look, I got divs in here too, but you could do, look, header, footer, there's all kinds of stuff. Then you, of course, you got your nav. Remember I told you stop starts here, gives you whatever the byte. Remember I told you that within the container you can actually, instead of having it like out here, oh, I love that song that's in the background. I used to love that. I was in love. Well, I better not say nothing. My wife might hear this. You got your styles, you can put it here, but you can also embed it within your actual elements, your HTML elements. These are elements, right? You can actually put it right in there. And the reason why I could have just taken all this and cleaned it all out, but I wanted to show you that it could be done. So when you're learning stuff, you go say, oh yeah, I remember old man PHP was showing us that this could be done there. Of course, it gives you a background color. It gives you the padding. The padding is the stuff like from this line to here. Anything that's on the other side of that line, that's called margin. But remember, we also got a margin on top of this one. So the two margins is, oh my God, they stacked up together. So what happens is the interpreter, the browser will pick the best one. It'll take just that one margin and it just match it. Because believe it or not, these two got margins and these two got paddings. Oh man, that's such a beautiful song. Oh boy. It always makes me sad when I hear that. Anyway, that's what this is, right? So all this stuff is great. Now remember I was telling you after the HTML, I started to, remember this is how we were doing the automatic menu, right? It gives you the nav that's telling you that this is a nav, right? And then what happens is I created within this nav, there's actually a div right in there. Right in there. There's boxes and there's a box within this box. And there's this box and this box and within another box. That's how that works. Which you see divs like that in the container. That means fluid. It goes all the way. It goes from here to here. Sometimes you see websites that only shows you like from here to here because they're not using containers. Okay, well, container fluid. Container fluid will take the whole thing. Container regular will probably give you just, depends on how you do it in your CSS. We'll go from here to here. Anyway, I know you understand this. All right, so then where do you go? Within the actual, remember I told you, within the element, HTML element, this is telling me this URL on the order list is what this is. And then within the on order list, you got li, which is what you see here, see li. But we're going through, so what I did was I made it dynamic, right? I created this is the header, this is the about, this is the affiliates, this is your image, this is a website, and it has the little, remember I told you key value pair, that's what this is. And you're going to use the for each loop to loop through each one and give you this information. Of course, it's going to go to that first one, and it's going to do this. It's going to create, look, it's going to give you the value, which is header. And the reason why you don't see it here, but if you jump into view page source, let's go down a little bit. See, this is the actual website, right? This is what I've been showing you. But you notice, where's the PHP stuff? There's all this stuff here. There's no PHP stuff. Why? PHP cannot be seen. That's another protection, right? Because it runs on the server side. That's fantastic. You don't want anybody messing with that, right? So then you come here, and here it goes. Here's your URL. That's what this is, your URL. This will create your allies. It's all in there. For some reason, they just stacked it up one after like this long. See, ally. And if you go look, you're going to see, let's go look. See, you're going to give all this, and that one would be home, right? There goes home. If you, the next one is, what is the next one? The next one is about us, right? Right here. And you notice how we put this stuff in there because we got it from font awesome, and that's what gives you that this little icon design stuff. That's what that is, right? And it keeps going on until it does, until it's finished, until it reaches the end. That's it. Then you got this whole thing. This also builds up. Remember, we're calling this. This is what's doing. Remember, we're just setting things up. Right now, it's just doing the arrays with all the information that you need to create this thing. And then, of course, your for each loops through the whole thing, creates it for you. But it doesn't do anything until this guy calls it. See, he invoked it, and then boom, you got it. It happens really quick, really fast. Right? That's how you get in the form 2 down here in the same idea, because what I did was in the footer area, which I'm going to show you, I just did this, and it took whatever. I don't have to repeat this stuff again because it's a function. That's the beauty of the function. It's strong. It's one of the best thing there is, because all you have to do is call it once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times. And you just did the work just that one time, right? And that's all, it'll do everything that's in here. Of course, you're going to change it around for different things because you don't want the same thing to look up. You can have 2 or 3 or 4 different types of nav if you want to. Nav means navigation. I'm pretty sure you know it. Then you got your jumbo, right? That's your jumbo stuff. This gives you the banner. I call this the banner. This was, which is this right here. Right? Did the menu, now it's giving me the banner. Then of course I embedded PHP because I want this to be global. This information is going to be used. So if I kind of went like this and I put it in here to see, okay, sees this one, but like I said, look, it says 4. Boom, see, it's being called here. APP, you got your embedded PHP right here. Echo says echo this information, right? Right now doesn't have nothing, right? It's only when you start entering information that now this information can reach other places. So if I went to the other one, see, look, it goes right back into the PHP stuff right above. Remember I told you that once you create this form and do the work, and you say insert, right? And what it does, it goes right back up there. It goes right back up here. It says, oh yeah, that's so good, that's good. Does this all over again, doesn't matter, because we're not doing a constant. When you do constant, it's a problem. Then you have to do another global, put it in global, right? So now in this particular case, right, you have, once you have done, let's go back over there real quick. Right? So right now you're doing this, and now you got the token. Remember I told you the form has a token? You gave it this as a token, right? And you gave this as a token. It's going to do the hash. Remember it gives you those weird looking, let's go here. No matter of fact, I got it over here. So then what you do is you go down here. And where is the multi-token? Where is it? Right here. See this information right here? This right here, look. See, it puts this together because you already did it. You told it to do it. You say, okay, let's go to the form. Right here. Right over here. Remember this? This is what you're calling. So if you kind of go like, let's see if I can, how do you do this? Let me just go like this. Okay, here it goes. See, it echoes this information. This is what this is. right over here. This is what this is right here, because you're calling it. Once you call it, it'll do it for you, and it hashes it for you, sticks it in there, so when you hit the insert, it'll go through the process of working on sanitizing it or doing validation, okay? So it gives it to you on all of them. This is what that does. This gives, all this is giving you a variable that's going to be global, meaning that you can read it in all of your form. In all of your function, throughout the whole website, you'll be able to use this information, right? So if you put if the last thing you put in here under here messages 2, it'll be 2 all the time, every time when you go somewhere, until you do something with that again, right? So this is the actual website. This is the CRUD. This is the stuff that gives you this information right here. Where is it? This stuff right here. Then it gave you a button, and this button, what happens is it goes just back. See? Remember, if you change this to a different name, make sure you change all these too. Otherwise, it won't work. Then you got your about. See, there's a section. You got your about us, right? And of course, you got your H1. That's what giving you that big letters right here, H1, right? And of course, you got your paragraph. And of course, you got your buttons. I did buttons on all of them, so you don't have to go look for it or scroll. You can just hit the button. It takes you right back up there quick, right? So then you have your affiliates mess section. Same idea. We're using the jumbotron means that it's from here to here. Is a good idea to do it because it's usually meant for pictures, but you can put stuff inside there too. You know what I mean? Like pictures and stuff and words, and you can put forms. That's what I'm using a lot. It's got good. This is a class that's actually sitting within right here in Bootstrap that you called in. Remember this the CDN, right? So that's what that does, and then of course you got your boots. Right, so now you got your tokens, you got this broken down of sections. See this? That means if you go up, it's over here, the jumbo, get it? And then if you go, now remember I gave each of these sections an ID, like home and about us and images and footer. Excuse me, guys. Right, so you do all this, right? Now you got this, you got all this stuff. This is all HTML. I know you don't understand this. Maybe some of you do. But what I wanted to do is give you a full-blown website. That's all I wanted to do with those features of talking, communicating with the database. And of course, creating the JSON, which we're going to run again in a second, right? All this is going to be included. You'll be able to get to it. All you have to do is kind of go like this, copy it, open up your editor, paste it there, and start working on it by changing the names and stuff like that. Or you might want to change this because, of course, you're not going to use my stuff. It'll be your stuff. If you want 1 paragraph, if you want 2 paragraphs, if you want 10 paragraphs, you can do it, okay? Okay, this is the membership stuff that I just showed you. What happened here? Something failed. How did this get there? Huh. Wait a minute, guys. Remember this one? The bad words? It's the idea which dynamically created this. I gave you 2 forms on here too. On the other one that you see is just 1 form, right? It's just 1. It's kind of like, let's get rid of that one. What is it? HTTP localhost 8080. That's my port. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. What the? Something got ruined. Did I mess something up when I was messing with you? Oh, yeah. Oh, no. What did I mess up? Do it again. Oh, there it goes. What happened was I must have did something here that messed that up. Gotta be careful. Anyway, this is the whole thing, right? You get over here, you got this stuff. These are the three form stuff over here. That's my dog, by the way. It's like a deer. I mean, he's fast. It's a mix of Whippet and Chihuahua. Crazy. Okay, this is your affiliates. This is the first image. It's the second. See how I broke it down to 4, 4? Because 4 times 3 is 12, right? So the column is 12. And that's how it knows. You go into the row, you go into the column. You know, because you got Bootstrap. These are Bootstrap classes. It'll do the thing for you, line it up nicely and everything. Then you got your rotation, right? Gives you this, gives you that. Gives you the first default boss lady, which happens to be come on. This is an actual website that I broke up in pages, so I can put it in the here it goes. This is it right there. That's the default, which is this one. This woman here is very good, man. I was able to save money. I was able to, oh man, she was good. Her information is there. I mean, you can slow it down if you want to. But anyway, the point is, you can even slow this down. Right here, I'm just telling you that all you have to do is, we're using set interval rotation, and all you have to do is change this 2000 to 1000, meaning 1 second, or even small, half a second, right? You can do that with 7.5, that kind of thing. But I'll show you when we get there. Right now, this is all this. All of this here is the actual website, right? You got your card. I'll call it a card, give you an explanation. We broke it down to 2 columns. Of course, this particular has $25, and this one, see, look, is using Stripe as the thing. So when you hit this, that's what gave me that Stripe thing. And then from there, just pay it, and boom, it sends you an email, right? Which I can send another website where I can show you that it'll send you an email when you do a card system. I'm going to do like a full thing, and that way you can have that too. So when you do that and you submit and paid your money, it'll send you an email with a link, and when you hit that link, it takes you into another page automatically, but you can't get that. Not only that, it has so much security in it that when you go to the page, let's say somebody was reading my Google emails and stuff, they couldn't do it. Because if they ran it from there, right, it'll say, well, there's a problem here. They won't let you. That's, like I told you, it took me 2 years to get done. 2 years. That was a lot of work. 2 years to get it all done. So that's what this is all about. Same thing here. Now, in this situation, right, I'm using 4 columns. Of course, I'm doing this to show people, okay, that's part of the UX, right? Because you want user experience, right? You want people to feel good. Oh, look, look. And then you want people to go right back up there to the menu. I don't want to go to, like, do this to go get it, or go this way to go get it, right? Then you got your contact map. I showed you that you can put bad words here and it spills it right back out, right? You can, if you want to view your database, we could do that. Now let's go back all the way. Let's go to the JavaScript side too. Okay, this is all your images, all the stuff I'm showing you now with the symbols and blah, 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 right here. And then you got your contact form. Remember the contact form, which we did several videos ago. It was kind of long. Okay, I'm going to do this real slow in a few minutes, but I'm also going to put a link so you can get to it with no problem. You don't have to stop and print, like, you know, type it out and then spend hours trying to wait for me to finish up giving you all the buttons and the types and, right? Put it all together so that we didn't have to do it. When you get better at doing this stuff, then, now this is the mode. Remember this stuff right here? Where are we? Let's go to the picture. This one, right? See this whole thing? See how they dims this out and gives you this? right? That's what this is. So I took the first design, right? And it knows what to do. If it uses model, it has fade in, right, for the background. Gives you what that, this is what this is, right? Right? Gives you the body in the picture, which is what this is, right? This is the picture. This is the body, right? And then you could do this. Look, you get, and then once you finish, you do the close, right? You can either do close here, or you can do close there, right? That's fantastic, right? So you can get second design, you got your third design, you got the fourth design, and you got the fifth. I got something special too. Now I know that in all of them I show you back to menu, right? Which is back here, and you back to menu, and back to menu, and back to menu, back to menu. One time only, right? We don't need it. But in this situation, I wanted, not this one, back to menu, and this one I wanted to give you two. Because since this is to go back to the menu, but see how you're doing this and you're getting this here. Well, I want to give you something else to show you that you can put forms in this thing and it actually will work. So I kind of created a button right here. And by the way, if you go like this, see, it stacks it. It doesn't stack it on this because there's enough room. So you don't need to stack it. But in another place, like a smaller form, it will stack it. Anyway, the point is I was showing you this because I want to create another mode. I'm going to show you that it can be done this just like you could do this, right? You could do this. See? This is an actual, right now it's not going to work. I mean, you could do this, you could say Apple and not going to do anything because I didn't do anything for it, just like the regular form. But just like this form, you could do the Apple and get rid of all pornographic words and ads. And plus, look, I gave you these two. This is a capture thing, right? It's telling you this privacy, and all you have to do is say 50, right, like that. And then when you submit it, and it's going to check to see that it is 50. If it's not 50 and it's something else, that means a robot was trying to give you something or some weirdness. It'll check to see there's also pornographic stuff and stuff like that. This one goes right back to the menu. Not that one right now. The menu that you're going to create with that. All right. So basically that's what that is. Of course, your contact form. I get a little phone thing there. You can do whatever you want. And telling you here that we're using the select, the check boxes and the radio buttons. That's what these things are. So if you go check down here, where are we? Oh, that's the footer. Yeah, your picker. No, that's not it. This is the wrong one. Right here, see? Got your buttons here, and of course you got your radio, right? The radio stuff. You got, of course, you can still do your file upload because remember we created that thing to create. You can do your check boxes, and this is your select. This is what this does. Okay, man. Now let's go to the JavaScript part. Okay, right here I added the JavaScript. We're using jQuery, and remember I told you we're using this thing called closures. We're putting all these functions within this function. So that way anything that, let's say if I had something here, I can use it here, right? Because you're using it here as a, now, since it's all closed in, that means I could use it. That was the trick that JavaScript used to do. That was like, it was kind of hard to wrap my head around, like a long time ago. It was just weird. There's a book by Douglas Crawford that deals with the best part of JavaScript, and closures is one of them. Guess what? PHP does closures too. But right now we're doing it here in JavaScript, and this is how jQuery talks to it. So you go like this, right? And it closes it here. And of course, automatically it runs. And you know, I could have said, what is that word? The actual name of that function. I could have just did test page like I showed you before when you use it like this. Look, see how the footer is using this? Remember that? That's how you get this stuff, because it's using the same menu that you created that function in PHP. Well, it's the same thing here. But in jQuery, you can just add this part right here, this little thing right here, and it tells you run it. The moment you get to this part and you come here, run it. Now it's ready. And that's why you could do check for blurs. Remember I told you you could do the blur? You know, let's say if you want to do bad word stuff, doesn't like Apple, right? Because over here it checks. See, remember the key up? The moment it hits, if you say Apple, it's going to say Apple, you hit A, but it doesn't read anything because there's nothing here, not here. There's nothing here that compares to what's here. Like A, there's no A here, not yet anyway. Then you say P, not yet, AP, then APP, no, APPL, no. Every time, once you hit the E and you let go, it goes, oh, APPE, yes, it's here. It's here, and then what happens is this right here includes, checks to see this compared to what you have in here. And it finds that Apple is there. What happens? It gets rid of it. See, it gives you that blank. This is JavaScript. I know this ain't no PHP course, but I wanted to show you. Same thing here with the, this is what this is. Because you're going to different sections too, right? That's what gives you this, all this stuff is this here. It's the values for this, is the actual ID for this stuff. And this is how it knows, right? So then when it does that, it, oh look, test keyboard. Remember I showed you that right here, instead of doing tests, let me see. Where the hell is it? Right here. Instead of going like this, like right here, it's doing everything for you anyway because of these two little things. Because what you're calling is a function automatically. Within that function, remember I told you several videos ago, this was PHP, but it's also true in JavaScript, that within that function, you can use the variables from the outside function inside that inside function. That's how that works. And if you make things global, you can view your variables in any part of your script, your program, your application. And that's what this does. And I know I explained this already. Now the blur part is when you go like you go like this, you blurred it out. It says please put the first name, right? So let's say you say Bill. You got Bill. Next time I'll do it so you can get rid of it, but it might, no big deal. Then when you go to the next one, now you say, okay, I'm gonna put Miller, but I don't know, I'm gonna jump to here. Boom, look, last name, see? So if you say Eve is the last name, then you could say, I'm gonna jump. Oh, proper email address, right? So you put in your email address, an@aol.com. You jump over. Now here I didn't put anything here because I didn't want to, because not everybody has a URL, so I didn't want to do any of that stuff there. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. All right, we're going to jump into, now that I explained a lot of this stuff already, and okay, let's go to remember the rotation of the pictures right here? Where are we? Right here? I wanted to show you, remember I showed you this special, I gave you this algorithm already where you're rotating. Remember I showed you one of the websites where you're rotating. Let me make myself a little comfortable here. So if you're going to hear that chair, I apologize. Okay, so what happens is it's going to run through. Now each picture represents that. So if I went here and I just kind of click on this, you'll see it. See that one? Click on the other one. See that one? So what I did was, which is also a good idea, guys, in case you want any ideas, you could create a website, right? And then you could create several websites that you have created, right, as a profile. Instead of somebody trying to click on to go to that website, you could just say, oh, I want to keep it, because a lot of times you want to keep people on your website. You don't want people going out there. That's why I created several different things. Now remember, this is a whole website. So I went here. Her website starts out, where is it? The banner, where's the banner? Right here. See this? No, that's not her. What is hers? Let's go look for her. Let's go here. Oh, Boss Lady. So if you go to Boss Lady right over here, that's her right there. See? She's got her own thing. And whatever pictures you see here, the next one will be here, right? That goes next to it. The following, if you keep going down, scrolling, it'll be this one. See, because she does financial stuff. I had to create all this stuff for her. It got complicated, but I got it done. Anyway, the point is that this is what's giving you that. And what it's doing is rotating. Now remember, when you create a function, your decorator is not going to do anything. This is what's doing the job. This is something called set interval. Just like set timeout, JavaScript has a set timeout. Works the same way, but I think it just sets the time differently, like one time only. But this is rotating, so it runs. This is a callback function, which happens to be this. I want you to run this, and it's going to use this stuff, right? And I want you to rotate. See, it says 200. You can actually put 1 like this. Save it. Let's see. See how fast it's going? And if you kind of put it for 3, so you got a lot of ideas you could do, man. You know what I mean? Right now, I'm just showing you this could be done. I use the website to show you, just in case you want to use this woman, you can always call her. Her number's in there somewhere. So, and she'll probably help you out there. But I'm giving you an idea how you can do this stuff. Right? Now, when you go to the website, let's go back up. Right? Right here, right? Let's say I want to go to context. See, remember the smooth scroll that I showed you before? Where is it? Remember this one? Right here? I kind of made it like this with different colors, and then I hit this. Remember that? Like, can you see that? If you hit it again, it calls it right back. It sticks it right in there. Remember that? So when you want it to go to orange, you go, see how it's smooth? It's going kind of fast, but that's what I wanted to give you too. So even though I gave you a whole bunch of videos explaining the rotation, all the stuff that I kind of mentioned in the beginning of this video, well, you can do it here too. Look. See? It makes it so easy to work with. And that's why I did that. This one is using, see there, here it goes, timeout. It uses a timeout, plus it uses an anonymous function. I could have put this in a function and just put the name on there, like a callback. But I did it like this, see? It takes the first, then the comma, then the second one, telling you that's just a 1 second situation. Just speeds it. By changing the speed, where are we? Like right here, 10. You could do 50 to go, you could do 20, it'll go slower. I think 5 would do even more faster. Anyway, it goes like this, it moves the speed, adds it together, and then this way. Is it bigger than this? Because what it does is, when it's over here, when you type this, it's gonna do each step real quick. Each line, it'll do this line, this line, this line, this line, this line, until it gets to all the way down here. But it does it so fast until it gets to the ID right here. You know what I mean? And that's how it finds you quick. And this is the actual command that JavaScript uses. Everything that you do in JavaScript is done in the browser. All browsers like Chrome and Safari and Firefox. This all has, I think it's called Oxygen, but I'm not sure. Excuse me. They all have their own interpreter and compiler right built into the browser. It's not like in the old days when it first started. It was just like really crummy. Now you can do a lot of things. JavaScript is a full-blown JavaScript language, which I can also show you. But if you learn PHP and you can get into JavaScript, it's going to be easy because a lot of it's the same thing, really. And then vice versa. If you started already, I'm pretty sure some of you guys already know how to do JavaScript, and now that you're doing PHP, you're like, oh man, I can't believe it. It's kind of almost the same thing. So you can learn much faster. It's good to learn 2-3 languages anyway because it makes you learn something much faster. All right, so now that we got that out of the way, let's get back to the actual form, right? You got your nice little website. I want you to have it. I'm going to include it in the description so you can get it. You know, people pay a lot of money for this type of stuff, man. You saw my website. You saw this right here, right? How I'm different things I charge to get things done. All right, man. So let's get on with it. Where are we? Right here. So we're here, right? So we're doing this. We're doing it. Now we're going to be in the form. We already showed you that JavaScript does all this. But let's say for some reason, somehow something went wrong. It was doing the thing, got a glitch over here, and somehow it took the word delete or something, right? Well, then once you run your form, where are we? Right over here. See, once you run your form, now this form is going to call itself back, right? The moment you do, like, put all this information in and you hit insert, it's going to go straight through here. It's going to go all the way to the top. And of course, it's going to do this. And it's going to read, oh yeah, this is that file, right? So you're okay. Now it makes this into a global thing, so you can see. Then you got your filters over here, right? Because remember I showed you the get nouns, the stuff that where you do the password hash with that. Well, you know it's set up, right? You saw it down here that is in there. It's in here. So what happens is what this does is just checks. It says, do you have this? And the reason why you do that, just in case it's not in there, and somehow somebody snuck in something like a hacker or something, it won't read it. It won't be able to do it, because if it don't read it, let me see what this one does. It goes, this one belongs to, don't worry, I'm going to slow it down, man. It goes to here, see? That's that first one, because it has to check. If it's no good, you know, you could have just put else or whatever, right? But it is good because you want to do, where are we? Where are we? This belongs to here. Then once it goes in through this, remember the verify, it takes your this information, it verifies it, it puts it into this variable, you put it right here. This takes this information and verifies what you got in a form, remember, because we sent it in, nice hidden, you don't see it, it's in there. Remember that, all those craziness? And it's going to look at it, oh, look, it is the same thing. So guess what? It'll come here and it says, hey, is this equals to false, meaning that if there's a problem, then it's going to give you this. JavaScript will give you this problem. It's going to say, hey, this is an alert thing that happens in Java. See this script here? This is actually a JavaScript script. That's how it knows. This is PHP calling JavaScript right here. So it's going to do alert. You're going to get like a small little box over here. And it's going to say you have a problem with the encryption. And then you just have to say okay. And then guess what? Jumps right back over here. Okay? That's it. But if everything is okay, now we're going to do the connection. Remember how we talked about it? We made DB a global. Remember, usually if we didn't have to call each other, like in other words, if we didn't have to, if you didn't have to define a constant over and over again, then you could have just used this right here, because you're only doing it once. But since you're calling each other again, going over here, yes, 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 going down in here again, yes, yes, yes. And the other, it's going to look at this as sorry, you got defined, you can't define it more than once, because once you define it once, that's it. Right? So what I did is I made this into a global. So that way when it goes back up again, it comes down again, it's going to say, oh, it's cool. It's global, it's okay. So then you come here and you put it inside here. Remember how I showed you that the DSN is this, right? Because I'm using localhost and this is my log user, right? I'm going to show you. I don't think I have it open. Why did I have it open? Let me see. I do have a, where is my, see this right here? This is my web server and I started. It starts out like this. So what you do is you start it up, services, you start it up. If you do this and you walked away, it'll start this for you, but you don't want to wait, you start it up. Then what I did was I want the network. So I want the network started, so you enable it. Then you want the volume. The volume would be, yes, I want you to mount that volume, which is this right here. This is the actual server, right? So then if you come here to explore, it gives it to you right over here. See? That's how that works. Okay. Let's put this away because we don't want to use that. Let me see something. I'd like to go here. Let's go to the application. If you hit the application, bear with me. See, it uses example. Listen, I'm going to show you how, if you haven't done it already, I'll show you how you get this done, set up on your box, okay? I'm hoping that you guys already done these things, but if you haven't, or you might be using WAMP or MAMP, it's okay, it's the same thing. But right now I'm going to use the database, right? So what do? You come here, see this right here? This gives you the database. This gives you all that. Remember I showed you in one of the videos about the PHP info, how you can get this information, how you can change these directives. Remember I showed you that? That's what this is. If you go to one of the videos, I don't know, maybe I'll put it in the description what videos you should be looking at. But anyway, the point is you go here and you want to look at the database. And here's the database. This is the actual MySQL server. I'm going to move this a little bit like over here. I like to have it like right here. What's this? I have no idea what this was. Oh, it just started it for me. I won't close it up anyway because I got it over here. See, right now we're using, this is the database, remember? Where is it? Right here. This is what that is. And what you do is you click on that. This is a lot of them that I got. You click on that one and it opens up your database tables. These are the tables, right? And the table that you're going to be using for the most of this stuff that we're doing is this one. Temp table. Remember how we have the, let's go to the structure. Yeah, first name, last name, email, time. Remember URL, upload, messages, city, sex, and what kind of vehicle you drive, which happens to be, where are we? Right here. Oh, that didn't go quick. What happened here? Let's go back. Okay. So come here, right? Remember this? This is the select, this is the city, this is your vehicle, and this is your sex. That's what that is. That's what that is, okay? And as you can see, if you go into the browser, even though these guys, I added them as we were training, and I was also showing other people, these are the ones that were doing the new stuff now. See how I added the actual URL, because I had one, get it, I put it in. This is your messages, I need help, blah, blah, blah. This is the city, New York City. He's a male and he drives a Subaru. That's what that is. That's what this does, okay? So now what happens is when you do that, it catches this, everything. So now remember, if there's a problem, the PDO, the object, that uses PDO, right? Now look, I'm explaining to you right here. I'm giving you what it is right here. This is an object that works with 12 different databases. I mentioned that too. It does MySQL. That's what I'm using. But it does a lot different. Now the MySQL stuff. Remember I showed you how you can read and write the database using MySQL. That's what this is. If you're only using the MySQL commands, you have to do it on the MySQL. You have to do it in MySQL. But if you're using PDO, it could be in any database. any database. You know what I'm explaining? If an exception is thrown within the try block, the script stops executing and then flows directly to the first cache block, which is this right here. So if there's a problem here, it'll come here, and then it'll give you this object with this method. Remember, everything that looks like this is an object. It's an arrow. The other one's a rocket for the array. Right? So then that happens. That's the end of it. Now here's the security part. Remember I told you, once you do the form, if JavaScript doesn't catch it, this guy will catch it. So what happens is, this is how you get your form information, right? First name, last name, email, URL. You're sanitizing it first. When it does these little things. But remember I told you, sometimes you get glitches in different parts. You're doing this, it's going up. And somehow, because this has happened to me, and over the years it's happened to me. And to other people, several times. Depends on what it is, because when you're doing things in production, you know, things happen. You're dealing with hundreds and thousands of people going into the form, doing the, you know, things happen, you know. And then you got your hackers that are trying to kill you, destroy you by messing up your stuff, right? Now, for some reason, see this right here? It's the set. Remember I told you when you set something, it tells you that it checks whether a variable is set to that is declared. But if you go to the button down here, it was funny because I was looking at The Shining the other day and I got the music in my ear. So right here, see the insert, remember that? The insert? You set it. Once you do this, you set it. That's what that is. You set it. So it goes like this. Reads it. Everything so far so good. Makes this, remember those messages that pop over here? Like over here, that's what this is. Right? So it checks all these things. It says, oh, wait a minute, insert. Okay, we're using that. If we were doing the search button, that it will say, no, that's not the one. It'll jump to another one that will have the word search, and it'll do that stuff. But this one is the biggest one, because this one has, yes, I'm doing this like right away, cleaning it up, trying to see what happens. Then if it doesn't work out, then, you know, it just gets restarted all over again. But if we are inserting, then it's okay. Before we insert, let's check. Is it empty? Is these guys empty? In case JavaScript didn't catch it, right? They'll catch it. As long as you hook it up, they'll catch it. So then what happens is you go like this, oh, okay, check it out. And if it's someone, or if all of them is empty, then I want you to do this. I want you to jump back. Remember that? Jump back with the error number 2. And then what happens is it goes down here. Where is it? Ugh. I should have just made a little button so I can jump into that real quick. Oh, no, it's above. I'm sorry. It's right over here. See, right here. It'll do this. Get that error. It goes up, gives me an error. Then, because you're doing, remember you're going back and forth. It'll go down the line. So, oh, there goes that number 2. And then you say 1. Well, we're using 1, right? Insert to database completely successfully. That is if everything worked out fine. If it didn't, it says, oh, look, the input data is empty. If one of these things are empty, that's what it does. It gives you that. Okay? So let's go back. I know I'm getting you a little busy. You're getting dizzy going back and forth, but I'm going to show you. Right? So then what happens is you go here, you read this, you say, okay. In this particular case, you want to check also, well, let's say you put this here, and then you forgot to put this in here. This will catch it. See what I mean? I did this to catch it for the whole form. I did this to catch it for individuals. And I kind of put it like this. You know what I mean? The reason why I didn't put this one first, because for some reason, if all of them is missing, it's always going to catch that first one, so it's always going to do this. But if you put it on the second one, you want to check everything at the same time. See, this is an and. This is his first name and last name and email name. Email and URL and message is blank. Please go back, put a 2, says input. You already saw the message, right? Now, if it says, oh, his first name or last name or email or, then I want you to say some of the form data is empty and then go back with a number 3. Then it reads that little thing with the switch statement, which is, where is it? So you can stack up everything. See, that's how I have this section. Read JSON section, start the refresh section, create the report. Always get in the practice of doing that. Otherwise, you don't get lost. Especially if you have to go back to this actual application a month later. You know what I mean? Now, this is in case it's empty. I left it out blank like this. It's okay. Then over here, it's going to check to see if the URL is empty. I did it separately because not everybody has a URL. So what I did is if it's empty, then put a no. It's okay. Keep that. Keep this rolling. Put something there. I want you to keep that variable. Don't worry about it. You don't have to assign something to that if you don't want to. That's basically what I'm saying. Then, of course, if you put spaces like this, like spaces like this, and you did and like that, and then it's going to look at this and say, oh, trim that. So when it goes into the process, it takes all this out and even trims the back part too, just in case. Then what it does is it replaces the script with, look, it replaces any script. Look at this, I put it in. It replaces any script and styles with spaces, right? So if I kind of went in here and said, like this, script, because I'm trying to sneak in there like a hacker does, it'll do this. If it finds script, it finds styles, it finds all these little stupid things like this, I want you to blank it out. That's it. And of course, you're going to put the name that you blanked out completely here. So in other words, if you kind of went like this, and you said and like that, and you put another back, it'll get rid of this for you. And it'll keep and, okay? That's what that does. And the same thing here with the message in the URL. I just said this. If you found something like this here, like this, like if you want to put an email or some crazy shit, same thing here, you want to put an email or something. Oops. How did I jump over there? It's not crazy how that jumped. And then what this does is gets rid of it. That's it. If you have it in there, it gets rid of it and keeps everything else. This will strip anything that looks like this. Matter of fact, let's reload this. Let's go back. Why is it so slow? Did it again. Why? Isn't that weird? That is, why am I pressing Andre? Just take it easy, man. There you go. Take it easy. That's me, don't worry. That won't happen to you, that's just me. Alright, because I go like this real quick with the, I'm hitting the keyboard and hitting the thing automatically. And of course it's going to do that anyway. So the point is that if I wanted to show you, like if I wanted to do something like H1, hide there like that. And you put the other H1, if you can put it, it'll take those things out. So that way when it goes through the process, it'll take that out. Get it? Anything that's going to harm you somehow or might potentially harm you, it'll take care of it. If JavaScript doesn't do it, because you can do a lot more with JavaScript too. Right now, we're just showing you, oh, if you get out, it gives you a message here. Or if you put a weird thing, get a message there. You want a bad words like, hey, mother, hey, you mother, apple, blah, blah, blah. It'll take that out. Or I want to sell you for $1.50. You can buy this one. That kind of thing, it takes it all out. It takes all the app. So JavaScript will do that for you, but if for some reason JavaScript fails or somebody's got JavaScript turned off, usually when you buy a computer, JavaScript is already turned on. So you don't have to deal with it unless you're like a person like me that will have to turn it off. I don't turn it off because I like using JavaScript. I do my own stuff. I don't like cookies because I use sessions, which I'm going to show you too how to use that in another video, right? Which is the same thing as session, but more better. It works on the server side. But you can have it on cookie, but you can do the same thing. Okay. Now, in this situation, too, the HTML entities is the same thing. So if you kind of did something like I don't know, let's try something here. Let's do, I don't know, what is it? Let's do something like this. href, like that. You see how you put those quotes, and then you say, I want to go to convert. I'm not going to hit the thing because I don't want to, it's not going to let me anyway. Just want to show you like that. And then you say convert. Then of course you do a close. See, first of all, this right here will take care of all this crap here. But if you saw this, somehow it took care of this. Let's say if it took, because see this right here? It's going to take care of that first. It's going to go like this. And it's going to do this. Right? But it says, wait a minute, you got quotes there. So then it's going to look at that. It's going to say, wait a minute. It's going to give you quotes, like a quote thing. What is it called? I think it's called, let me see if I got remember. It's something like this. I think that, oh yeah, that's it. See? And then it'll use this stuff like that. And if you want space, this is what you do. See, like that. Okay, so what happens is if it looks at, if it does this or this, well, it uses this. And where is it? This is the less than, right? So this equals to this. Oh, why don't I just write it down with my own hands? Okay, this will do this. LT this. So if I took, let me put this over here. Let's do GT like that. So if I took this and you run it, right, it's gonna go through, it's gonna move this, it's gonna do this. Remember those little quote things that I showed you before? Let's say if you had like this thing like over here, kind of like this. It's gonna, when you're ready to do it, right, it's gonna look like this, more like this. Right, and then you say convert to WordPress. I love WordPress, that's why the reason why I got into it. Right, and then it's going to do this one too, GT, for the back one. But how about the quotes? Well, if it does the quotes, it'll do this. Puts it in like this. And it says like that. So it'll look like this once it goes through the process. It's going to look at this. It's going to treat this as a string. That's it. And that's why this gets rid of that stuff, or makes it this way. Then you come here. You can also get rid of it all the way down here when you do these things. Okay, so it does that, right? Now, after it passes, then it goes right back in, and you do the thing and you go right back in. Comes here, of course, you're going to run an array, an associated array. Remember, it has a rocket. And then you're going to do the for each to read it. And you want to check to see if there's no stuff like delete, insert, update, or select in here. Let me get rid of this. Why is it doing that? So much security. That's good enough. This is just my way of doing. Uh-oh. Ooh. Nice. We just found. Oh, I know why. Where is it? We put it in somewhere. Oh, see, I took it out and I forgot to save it. So save it. Let me hit it. Now see how it took out that blue? It saved it. There you go. It's weird. Because I had it before and I took it out. I had it over here and then I took it out. Oh no, I had it over here and I took it out and then I forgot to save it. So when I was running it, it still saw it there. Alright, so basically that's what that does. So then what happens is it gets rid of the delete. That's like the SQL injection. When you want to delete stuff. Because you're going to see later on when you hit the delete button, that's going to delete your record. And if you hit the other one, update, it'll update the record. So it gets rid of all that stuff for you. The same thing now, you could do it a different way. Now let's go down this way. It goes like this. We get rid of it. Now I want everything lower. Remember we talked about that in case you haven't. You know, if you did something like Sam like that, or you make everything Sam, big letters like this, then what it does is just makes it into this. It turns it into this, puts it right back in there. Then once it does that, because it is a name, then this particular thing here, the UC words, will take your first word and do this. See? Do that before it hits the database because you want it proper, right? So if you get in here, you'll see it. Browns, Terry, Ivan, Calderon, Robert, Young. See how the first letters, because basically that's how you read it, right? That's how you're supposed to do it. But instead of, you can rely on somebody to do it. Yeah, some people will do it. No big deal. It just bypasses that. It'll do the process no matter what. Even if you put it right, it'll make it smaller, and then it fixes it up for you. Then when it comes here, it says, okay, name. Remember I told you could have lowercase or uppercase, and this is a pattern that it uses. So the right here, look. Direct replace function checks a variable against a pattern provided by the function itself. It uses the pattern, I forgot what, I should have finished this up, but what it does is it uses this pattern. Kind of looks like this. So I should do this. Like that, uses this pattern. And what this is telling me is, oh, I want lowercase letters or uppercase, because you know why? It doesn't matter, it's going to go through that process. Maybe we should have put this over here, but it doesn't matter because it went through the process. You already sent it, you can't change it, so that's okay. But it wants to be sure that it's this, and not a number like 0 through 9. When it reads that, it's going to spit it right back out. It's going to say there's a problem with the form data format, because we don't want numbers here. It's a name, for Christ's sake, unless your name is 3. That's what I wanted to do one time because of Dale Earnhardt, my favorite race car driver. It was number 3. I was saying I'm going to change my name to 3. Anyway, the same thing happens with the last name, and it does that. So then I said to myself, let's check for the email validation. Yes, you can have this. It'll be huge, like a big. I wonder if I could. Maybe I'll show you later. But the best way to do it is say filter var. See, you're using preg match, which replaces stuff, but you wanna, for emails, it's just the quickest way, the fastest way. You can say filter var. This is the name of the email, right? This comes from here. Where are we? This one right here, right? Goes here, filters it out. So yeah, that email address looks correct. It'll have something like old man php at gmail.com. It doesn't matter what comes after here, as long as you have this and a dot. Okay? And that's it. If it doesn't, then it tells you there's a problem with the URL and puts you right back, gives you a message over here. Right? And remember what I told you every time. Yes, the header will jump you out. It will jump you right out of here. It puts you right back into the form, into the actual website. But in case there's a glitch here, there's something you're doing this, the computer wanted this for a few seconds, if the wind gave you a glitch, didn't do this, but it kept going. I said, wait a minute, that's a problem. So what do? You catch it by doing an exit. Just catch it. Just put it in there. Okay? And that's what that does. So then, let's say it did all the security. Now it's going to do the insert. Before inserting, it's going to create it, right? Remember I was telling you that over here, you want to check to see that there's no select, there's no delete, there's no insert, there's no update. Because of this, see? Because of this command. Somebody could take this command like this. Let's take this out and stick it right in there. I'm serious. That's how they do a lot of craziness. And hopefully it'll catch. It'll go in. You know what I mean? It'll probably take a long time for them to do that, but it'll, it'll happen. But you have to prepare for something like that, which is why you do this. Okay? I mean, not that. You do this. Make sure you do this. This together with this works out fine. Meaning that I'll do all the forms instead of breaking it down into smaller ones. All right. I did the same thing with the URL. Yeah, not everybody's going to have the URL, but let's say you did have a URL, right? Let's say you did have a URL. Let's take this out. Let's put, let's say we jump out, remember that? Bill. Let's go, Jackie. Then we say, oh, look, Andres. Let's do, well, you already know. Please, that's my email address. Do not send me email. That's my practice email address, but I still get them. And this would be something, but if I jumped out, last name, see? Then we say Miller, right? That, whatever. And then we go here, and then you want, if you saw something like, I didn't like it, that's great. Let's say if you did like, what's good? Let's say like if you did this, but forgot to put in www or spill it right out. So you got a problem with the URL, and it'll send you right back out. This probably will work. Maybe I'll fix it up that it won't work. But if that was checked, it would say, no, there's a problem. You need an HTTP or HTTPS. Anyway, this is what this does. Now this, remember this is the actual invocation of my connection to the database. Remember I told you that it does this, but it doesn't do anything until you call it. Well, now it's calling it. Now it's going to do all this, check out to see everything is okay before we do the select statement. Before we get here, it'll do this. Then we're going to have a prepare statement. There's a feature used to execute the same SQL statement. Look, I put it all there. Repeatedly with high efficiency. The basic workflow is that the prepare statement execution consists of two stages, like the prepare and execution. I showed you that before. So if you do a prepare statement, you do this, you're taking this information, which is the select same, You're sticking it in there. Remember, this becomes an object. Remember how you created this as an object? Because when you ran this, it did it already. Remember, I already declared, but now you ran it. Now it's there. It's in memory. So it looks for this. See right here? Because you did a new PDO, which is an object. It's a, I always call it a blueprint. When you say new, that means this will be new of this. That means that every function, which within an object is called a method. Okay? So every method will work with this BD or DB. And that's what this is. Why is there, okay, right here, DB. Now DB has a prepare statement. PDO has a thing called prepare. So I want you to prepare this. The reason why it's doing this is because I might be using this with the placeholder. Remember the one with the two dots like this? And I could say email, something like that. That's a placeholder. It's not doing anything. Then you have to do a bind value later on to get it to work. But right now we are using just the actual thing because you're only selecting one guy. Just one guy. That's what that does. Then what happens is it executes it. See this right here? If it wasn't, if we would have had like the temp in the first name, you would have had like, you would have had this over here. Like something over here. This would be the first name equal to this. It'll be like right there, like this. This will be like replacing this over here, something like that. Then that's a placeholder because it's not doing anything. But this guy will mesh it together. This bind value, which is part of this right here, will do it. Okay? This is going to a variable, then this variable is going to use the bind. It's going to bind this with the actual first name. This is the actual value. This is all this stuff that you see here, okay? And you bind them together, and that's the perfect way to do it. Okay? The server performs syntax check and initializes server internal resources for later use. It is the safest way to work with variable before it is inserted into a database. But we're not doing that now because we're just selecting as us, right? But I'm going to show you that you can do it like this. Later on, you're going to see the bind value at work. Of course, you're going to fetch that information because you did select it, right? You're going to fetch it. You're going to put it in this variable. Then you got to close that connection. This is how it's done with the close cursor. Then within the for each, because now that you got this with all that information, and it's really just one record, it'll go through the for each because you got to do it anyway. And then it checks to see if that email equals to that. Get it? And if it's cool, if there's a problem, let's say there's a problem with it, then what do? You say, hey, get the hell out. Send a 10. Remember, exit out with no problem. And that's it. And then you get a message right over here. Then you have to kind of do it all over again. But in case something happens, everything was... The reason why you're doing this is because you want to find out that if when I put here my email address, that is not in here. Because then you will have double. Get it? It should only be one. It should only be one record. Not two records because your name is always going to be... in other words, you're going to do the form one time. You're not going to go back again and do it the second time. It's already there. You're already there. So I'm not going to copy you in. I'm not going to have a double Terry, a double Sam, a double Roberta Flack. I'm not going to have that. So this is what that does. Okay, so you're at the same, sorry, you can't do it. It's a duplicate and you're in there already. But if you're not in there, that means you're fresh. Then you do the insert. See, this is how you insert to a database. Remember, we check to see if everything is okay, that you don't, where is it? Right here. Remember the insert? It checks you out. See how this whole thing works? You're going to love this. I'm telling you, all you have to do is take the time and look at it, read it. I'm showing you now, but you're going to be like, wow, this is stuff, because I'm guaranteed you, they're going to, people, it's like 9 out of 10. They want a website that looks like a nice website. They're one menus. You don't have to do automatic or dynamic menu. You could write it down, but it's great to do it because that helps you with your programming, right? So when you do a potential employer, you can say, yeah, I dynamically created this, blah, blah, blah. And then you're using the font out awesome for the little images, right? Just to give it a little cuteness. I mean, I could have split this up to 2 of them right here, but this is cool. It's not a big deal. I mean, if you go like this, right? Look how nice and spread out it is. Let's bring this over this way. Okay. Now, you go like this, you check it out, blah, blah, blah. You got a beautiful website. This whole thing is going to do this for you, right? Now that you put that form in, this information in, right? It's you insert it, right? You're gonna give it, this is what's the name. Remember I told you this is the name of the table, this is the actual field. It's always first. And you put it in parentheses. Then you say the values of these things is this guy. Now normally in a regular situation you would do something like this, like let's say first name, and then you will put it over here as first name. But of course you're going to do this. No, you can leave it at that basically. Then you do the other one because remember, because you're using double quotes, it will do whatever the name is. Same thing here, last name. But it's good. It's not a bad thing, but you're better off doing it this way. It's more safer. This is the placeholder, right? Then you're calling. Remember you closed it up already over here. So now you're calling it again because you want it open. Every time you do a button, it's going to close, or open and close for the next button, right? So now it does that. It doesn't know anything. The prepare statement takes your SQL insert a statement, right? Then within there, because remember I told you this uses this method, puts it into this variable, and now this variable has that method that's inside here called bind value. And remember this, it says first name and last name. There it goes, first name, and I'll make sure you put this in quotes, by the way. This doesn't mean anything. It's more string. It just looks at this string, it looks at this string, and then it'll do it. Then over here, this is the actual variable. Remember I showed you before from up there, and you put it in there. So you're meshing your actual variable for your first name, last name, email, URL, messages, city, sex, and vehicle into these placeholder respectively, right? And then that's it. It's not going to do anything. It just has everything set up for you. And then when it hits here, it's going to run it. It's going to insert this stuff for you. It's going to go into the database and it's going to do it for you. This is why it's important to check that you don't get SQL insertion in these things, right? But you're going to do all that security stuff before you hit this part, right? Now, after you insert it, that went in, then you say close function. And then, of course, you'll get a message, your data inserted successfully, and then it keeps going. Then it says, hello, first name, you just added a record to your database. This is an automatic. What happens is once you insert, it's going to send an email to the person, plus it's going to send it to an admin just to see. It'll be something like this. Of course, we're using localhost. It doesn't work, but I guarantee you this will work in a production server. All right. Then this part here is for in case for some reason when you was here, you put all this information in there. Let's do something. Damn, I hate to. We're gonna let's do this real quick. And we're just gonna refresh this. Then we're gonna go back. Just to refresh, right? We're gonna do this, and then what happens is it's gonna go and say, because you did all this and now you did this and that, then you want to do this, right? Because you want a file to go up there, because in reality you want this to be here. Let me go over here real quick. Where is it? Right here. upload file because I don't have anything uploaded, but it will be here, the name of the file. But it also will put it in one of your, remember I mentioned it, in one of your temporary directory, and then it'll jump and put it in your, and remember we used this one too. Where is it? I think it was called, oh, here it goes. Remember how we uploaded it and gave me these before? This was on those other videos. I suggest you go to the other videos. It's in there. I wish I would remember. Where is it? I'll put it in the description above so you can at least, if it's like 2 or 3 videos, I'll put it in there so that way you can just look at that before going to this one. Anyway, the point is it goes in here, does this, does all this stuff if, in case there is something, but it'll go through it anyway. And if it's set, yeah, it is set. You go like this, move something, but if there's nothing there, it just keeps going. Else you have a problem with your extension in case there's a problem. It just skips it if you don't do anything. So if you insert, just do this, that's all it does, and it skips all this, won't do anything unless it sees something here, the name that you choose to bring up, right? So in this situation, you calls your name, it breaks. Remember, it doesn't. I showed you too that it actually makes it into an array, and you can look at each one of those. But we're doing it right here anyway, right? It's called a file name like this. That's the super global. See, it's a super global variable that is often used when you're uploading files. F_files contains some of the information on the uploaded file, such as file name, file size, file type, and etc. Right? The size, the type. This is the temporary name that goes into a temporary directory. It's in here somewhere. Where is it? Maybe not here. Although I should have added it. It'll be some. It'll probably be here. But I'm not that completely sure. It'll probably be here, but it goes very fast. By the time you find out, it's like, oh man, that went fast. I'm gonna leave this here because I want something here, right? So it does all this, checks for the file extension, checks to see if the, so when it does it, look, it's set. It is set because the moment you put something here, it is set. So it's gonna say, is it empty? No. Hey, how about this? I only want to allow, see, like, and once it does this, it explodes everything here, right? So if you put the name called filename.php, it exploded at the dot. So now you got an array with 2 of them. But I want the last one, the one that's the actual file extension, to go to, I want it converted to lowercase, but I want that last one from the variable. So if you use the word n, that's a function. And when you see, let's say you got a variable of 5 objects, it always take that last 5, the last one. That's what n stands for. And since it's a word, it's exploding the file name to 2. It's only 2, right? The first name, I mean the file name dot and the extension. Then that second one is the extension, and this n will give you that. That's why it says file actual extension. Then what happens is it finds out that you picked, let's say, one of these, right? And if it picks it, it's like, fine, this is an array. And then it checks. It says, in this array, do you have something called JPG, like this one? Or JPEG, like this one? Or PNG, or PFD, even the text? Do you have that? And if you do, if this is what's in here, fine. That's perfect. I'll use it. We're going to use it because it's in this list. If I would have saw something like a dot, what is that? Microsoft dot, or execute for Excel, or anything with the dot execute, or anything dot com, or CMD, or any weird things like that, it will not let you do it. It'll come here, you hit this right here. Let's go which one it belongs to. It says else you have a problem with your file extension. And then it keeps going up. And that's it. It just keeps going like this. It won't do nothing because nobody's calling anything. You could put here file extension, but now you have to go through all over again. So if you left it like that, then it's okay. They'll leave it alone. They don't do nothing with it. You can just put it right in here, else, and just say like this. Get you right back out there if you want to. All right. But this is a good way like that, so it won't mess with it. Right now, that's it. You do this, it worked. So let me see. Do we have one thing here? We got Roberta Flat. Let's create one. We'll say we'll use, I don't know, we'll use Norman Rob. Then you say norman.rob@gmail.com. Then you're going to jump in. Does he have a URL? Let's say he does, so we'll say HTTP. We'll call it HTTPS convert to WordPress.com. And then it says, I truly need help with website. Can you help? Right? So then I said, where is he from? Let's say he's from New Jersey. What does he drive? A Honda maybe? Is he a male? Well, his name is Norman. So I'm thinking, yes, he's a male. Male, right? Do you want to choose a file? Sure, why not? We'll do a choose a file. There you go. All right, let's get a nice little small one. This is 544. Is it in here? Let me see. I guess not. So we'll do this. We'll do this one, right? We'll say this is. How about this one? The second one, smaller. Doesn't matter. I gotta use the 5. But I always try to give something like that. You're gonna use the 5. It'll spit it out. See, look, I put it right in there. And then what happens is it looks in here. Where is it? Right past it. Right here. And in this case, is PNG allowed? PNG is allowed, so then it goes through the process. All right, so we're gonna do this. Let me see, we've got everything there. We're gonna say insert. See, I did this just for you to see, but you don't have to. Look, it went real fast. So when you go to up lamp temp, up lamp temp, I'm thinking that, see, look, it went too quick. These were for something else. These were for password that we were using as a, what the hell, that's my doggy, tokens, and that's what that was. But the temp for right, it'll bounce real quick. Then it'll jump real quick because, see this right here? It moves it from a temporary name. So what happens is, right here's the temporary name. That stuff that you saw, see this right here? This is the actual temporary name. So it moves that temporary name, where are you? Into the location. And what was the location? I called it, okay, it's called My Uploads. Right, so let's go to, I'm in the wrong place. Oh yeah, it is the right place, My Uploads. And then it says the name of it, right? What was the name of it that we enter? There we go. Third design miscellaneous small. See, look, it put it right in there for you. It put it right in there for you. Gave you to see your. Let me see if it says it underneath. No, it went right too fast. It went away because I. Sorry. Should have been there, but I must have did something. Oh, okay, went like this. Okay, gave me this and then gave me this. Oh, that's why I didn't mention it. Oh, you're dumb. I put it in a variable, but then, oh no. It should have went into, this is a global. I'll find out later why it didn't pop up, but it should have popped up. Anyway, so you here does this, and then what I wanted to do on top of that, right? Because let's say you, for some reason, it does this like in 2 steps. It calls, this is the set that, see that in the top? See what happens is when you do this part right here, the insert, where are we? It does the insert and I did the execution. See this part right here? I did the execution. When I did the execution, where's the thing here? It did, let me see, let's refresh this. Rob, here it goes. Norman Rob. What happens is when you do that first execution, where are we? Right here. And you do execution and then you close it, it's already done. It'll do all this for you, but it won't give you this part. See this right here? Remember I told you, see the name right here? Third design, best miscellaneous small. Look, third design, miscellaneous small. So not only that it puts this record first, I need your help. Can you help me? Can you help? I am from New Jersey and I am a male. And I drive a Honda. This should have been, yeah, New Jersey's just true. And I drive a Honda. Remember that? But it's on. It won't give you anything like, see this one right here? That's because I didn't ask for a file name to upload, but this one I did. But when you first do it, you're not going to see anything here. It's going to be missing until so it moves it already. This moves it to here because the database part is already done. Then it moves that information into here. Plus, it hasn't inserted yet. That name has not inserted until you come here. What it does is it says update this table, and I want you to set this, which happens to be this. See, temp upload file. I want you to set temp upload file where this will be the file. Remember we did a placeholder, that little thing that popped up over there, and then where the temp email address is what you got from before. Where is it? Right here, from the email address. Remember that? You got it in there. This particular thing here is what's going to be right here. It's going to be right here when you do these two. These are placeholders now. See, it runs the connection. Now it's open because remember you closed it before. Remember, there's nothing here yet. It did this, yes. And then it comes here and opens that up and says, okay, here's your file name, and here's your email address, and this is the name of the file that we gave it when we search for it, right here, file name, right? We gave it to it, and then you update it. Where are we? Then you execute it, and then you close it up, right? So when you go back again, boom, it's there. But it happens quick, right? But let's say there was a glitch and somehow you didn't get to that part, you're not going to see nothing here. So it does two things right away. Because the moment you dig here, the moment you do here, it's already done. It's already sent it in. But we need that file name. How are we going to do this? Well, you pick out your file and it'll put it in there for you. See, it did a good job. Let's go back. Okay, we can always. Oh, no, 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 no. Oh, I know why. Why it's doing that. I did that. I did that on my own. So let's go here. Don't worry about that. That goes away. I will take it out. I just wanted to put it there to show you because you don't want people to see that, right? So we'll take it out, but that's just to show you. Oh man, this chair is no good for my back. Now that we did that, right? Now every time you want to do something like right here, and like you can always do this to reset the way. See, it took it out. I'm gonna put something here and resets it. So basically what it does is, let's say right now we finished the upload and this is the end of the insert. Oh, let's do the search. Since we're going down the line, let's do the search. We'll do that later. Right? So now we want to search something, right? So we're going to say how we're going to search. But we're going to need something. Oops. Although, you know what I was thinking about? Of course, it's not going to search anything and show me back. Well, that's all. After doing all this, it changed it. Let's search. Don't worry about it. It's going to be, that's good. That thing that we just saw, the temper is going to go away. And I was thinking about like putting this information that comes over here. Also put it, what do you think, guys? I don't know, like right here, maybe too. We'll do that, right? Oh boy. Right, we'll do that. So let's see, we search who we have. Rob Andres, whatever the name that is. Let's slow this. Let's go back. I know if it would have been just a form here like I did the last time, it would just be the form I had to deal with. But let's say you put this guy here. You want to search this guy. So you say search. Where are we? Let's go back. See, puts it in. And what we're gonna do is when we do the search, instead of going like back up there, because remember when I did this, I did it because I only had one of the video. I didn't have a whole website. I kind of just had it because this was the website. From here to here, you will see this right away. But we already searched it, right? You'll see it right there. Norman, Rob, Bob, this we don't care. And what do you want to do? Well, we searched it, we saw it. Let's say we change. Should I say? Maybe, what is this? What's a Robbie? Robbie's with like another B and a Y. Robbie, maybe we'll do this. How about that? So then, now that you searched it, you will say, oh, let me update it. Oh, let's get back there. That's annoying. I'm going to fix that. And then what you do is, right, now that you updated it, you searched it, you updated it, we're not going to delete it yet, right? Then you're going to view. Oh, damn it. We're going to have to fix that. We wanted to go back down real quick. See? It will give you this. But for now on, we'll fix it. Don't worry. When you get it, it's going to go right back to this. Every time you do these buttons, instead of going back out, see, because the thing is, like I told you before, this was the website. So you get it right here, you get it like this. And of course, you just have to go like this and see. So but what we're going to do is we're going to jump, but then we're going to make sure it comes like right here. Right? And if you look at it, see, look, Robbie, it was changed. See, Norman, Robbie. So if you go look at the database itself, let's do a refresh. Robbie. You see it? Yeah, I didn't change this. But who cares? This is an email address. You don't change that. People don't change their name. This is just when you want to change some stuff here. But I just wanted to do the name. So that's what that does, right? So it searches right here. Does this, and now in this particular case, I don't use a template. We're not using the bind like this one. Even though I commented out for you can use it. So in other words, you can kind of do this and replace this here with this like that. Look, right now you need those quotes because this is the way it works. You go like this, like that, and then you do the bind. You get rid of this, and then it'll work. All right. I know you're gonna say, remember this? This is not a. It'll do it because it looks at this and says, oh, whatever's in here. This means like a search. Doesn't matter the full name, the whole thing. This is this SQL, this SQL stuff. We'll do another video about all these things, all these little things. Like the like means like contain. Do you have a name that contains this email? Do you have a URL that contains this URL? But instead of using the word contain, is the word like. Yeah, you know, contain would have been better, but anyway, let's go on because this is already long, right? So this is what this is, okay? Now, let's say you wanted to, we already viewed this. Let's say you want to create a report. Oh boy, we're going to have to jump this back. We'll fix that. It says it here. You need to enter an email address to form in a form above. So what you do is you say, what's the email address again? Do I have Robbie? Where's Robbie at? So let's do this. I'll tell you what, let's do this. What do you, oops, that's because I had my stuff in there. It's not gonna look like good security. So what we do is we do these buttons and we'll get, you know, you can straighten it out differently, this and that, but what I'm looking for is the actual, what was it called? His name was Rob. Let's go here. Let's do the edit. Let's copy. This is how you edit stuff if you want to on the actual data, but you can do this or you can do the SQL stuff. It's more safer to do it this way. But be careful though. Be very careful. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it. Let's put it in name it. Put it in here. Right. So then we're going to say create. It created it for you. Right here. It's stupid. It's just another way of creating. You could have made it go to another file and then later on just do a print, but I just kind of put it all in there in your own imagination. So you could create it, you put the email, it told you that you needed this, right? And then it pointed to there, so you needed to put that in there. You created, yes, and it created a report. Now this report could be in a file. But you still have to go and do the, you know, put file. Remember the put file contents with the parentheses and whatever stuff in there. You could put it inside a folder, inside a file, and then into a folder, and you get it like that. I just did it like this so you can see it right away that you can create a. I mean, of course, it looks kind of ugly, but you can line it up nice. You can put lines underneath it. I mean, you know, maybe by the time I send it, look, it gives you a total of 1 record. It gives you like what a report would look like, right? So now, oh, let's go back. Let's try the other buttons. Next time I'll make it go back quick. Let's see. Now that we did all that, yeah, I guess you want to get rid of one of this. I guess we could get rid of. Who should we get rid of? Sam, no, we're going to keep those guys. Let's get rid of Ralph. So we'll use his ID. Email address is a good ID. Right, we're going to say email address. You want to search it. What is the name of the should have thought about that before anything. Well, anyway, we searched it. We don't want it. I'm going to get rid of it. There's a dinosaur living in here. Right? You got a little bit. Deletion completed successfully. And if you view, I'm going to fix it up so you'll jump in there. What was the name of a person that I just got rid of? What was it? Ralph. How did I forget? See? Ralph is gone. Robert, Suzanne, Sam, Roberta, Norman, Penny. Ralph is gone. Remember Ralph is here? So if you come here, you will see, where's Ralph? There he goes, Ralph. It was 31. Right now, see, it's missing 31. It was here. He's gone. But he says, wait a minute, he's still there. No, he's not. He's gone. You just have to refresh. See? Ralph is gone. All right. Now that you got that established, you get all this done. You got this one done, right, to view all of it. You did the creation of that stupid little thing. We reloaded. We loaded up again. We did the insert, and of course this one. We showed you that you can upload. You showed you that it's all here, right? And then in the beginning, I showed you the HTML stuff. Remember, even if it's not an HTML course, it's all PHP, but they show you Java. Use these things, I'm telling you. Take this as a template, change it around. But it's all there. It's all there, I'm telling you. Let's just do, let's do the JSON, right? And do the two JSON things. So let's go to JSON. Let's go to search. View all, remember that's the view all. How it views the whole thing. Remember, this is, you do the select, you do connect to the database, you do the prepare statement, right? You fetched it, and then you go through the whole process to create, even if it was only one, right? You do it anyway for one, and you do it for 1,000 or for 10,000, right? And then you did the update, right? You call the update, you ran the update, it had the placeholders. You bind the placeholders with the actual value of these variables that came from the form. Then you deleted it, right? You said, this is it. Delete from this table where the ID equals to that. It already knew, because when I searched it, it came up and it already knew, right? So then it goes like this. It checks it. Okay. Here it goes. Query, delete, and this is the ID. Remember from... Because when you search, you get this idea. Let me see. Did I pass it? Maybe I did. What was that? Oh, okay, I see that. I just got a message. Oh, we got a house speaker. All right, so we did the new. It's in there. It's in there. It knew what to do. Where is it? Where's the delete? Right. So it goes. It echoes that. That's what that message came up when we found it. Right, and then says, okay, this is what you want to delete. You did the value. You executed it. Then you gave you that 8, which gave you that demo. This probably gone already. Yeah, it's already gone. Give you that message. And of course, remember I told you X, and that's it. It goes right back to the thing. Now we want to do the JSON. I guess that's the ones that we're waiting for right now, right? JSON right here, and then the execute. So what we're going to do is we want to create JSON, and that's just not one person. I mean, we could hook it up so that would do one person or the whole thing. So you say JSON and created it. There we go, JSON file created. What was the name of it? Let's find the name of it. JSON. What did I call it? Oh, here it goes. JSON 3. Data 3, I'm sorry. Where is it? Data. Here it goes. I did it like this. See how nice it looked? Because I added, where did I do? I added this pretty, JSON pretty, that's a flag. I brought it down here. JSON stands for the JavaScript object notation. It's a lightweight format for storing, transporting data across the network. It's the best way to do it. Often used when data is sent from a server to a web page. It is self-describing because, you know, when you look, where is it? It's self-describing, right? It's ID. Look, it's an ID. Username is a Terry. Password is Brown. I get it like this because I add this little separate stuff in there, just to show you that you can also do username and password. It's not a big deal. Anyway, so you come here and then you say you want to print it out. So you hit this. I'm gonna have to do that. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make, let's go today. I'm gonna make sure that. So what happened was when you do, where are we? It did this. It did that. See, it encoded it, right? That's what created that file, right? Look how nice that was. So then when you do the show, which I'm going to show you in a second, this is reads the JSON reads it. See, look, get this information from this file, put it in here. Look, I broke it down too, by the way. JSON, the core function is often used to decode convert a JSON object back to PHP. And then I hope I misspelled. I think I checked. When true, JSON objects will be returned as an associated array. That's what it would be. And then, of course, it gives you what the code means, and of course that flag, what it means, because it means that it says to do it as an array, right? Object as an array, because that's what JSON are, arrays, objects. So look, you decode it, you put it in here, and then you say decode it, and then this is your that report, the actual head. See, table head. Then it goes to the process. If you got like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like a bunch of them, right? So what you do is you just go through that whole process, of course, and then it'll go down the line, and then that's it. It'll give it to you. So this is what it looks like. As I made it as into a table, which what this is, I made it into a table. See this? Password, remember I called it password, I just got to add it in there. Name and all that, just to show you that's what that is. Then, sorry. And then you do this. See, this is what it looks like. I could have put space in between it, like to give it a more better writing. And then, of course, as we're doing this, we're showing you what it looks like. So here it goes. We're showing you. And this is what it looks like. And it changed it from see these things here with the dots. That means it's an object. Plus it has these squiggy bracket. It's an object, even though it's like sitting in one array. But it's an object. But you're changing this format, which you're gonna send it to somebody, and that person's gonna run the decoding thing, and they're gonna make it like this. See, it's an array. Remember how you make an array? Each one, that's a 0, right? Which is the first one. Well, actually, Terry's the first one. That will be the 0. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down the line. 0, 1, 2. See? And if you go to the bottom one, Norman Robbie is number 12. It became an array. Now with this in their side, they can keep it like this and create a more like a nicer report like this, or they can just call it and put it in, I don't know, separate paragraph, different types of names. And you know how you call an array, right? Call it with the name, the little bracket, and the 0, the 1, and 2, whatever it is. Well, that's what that does. and that's what it does. Well, this, I know it's confusing a little bit, but as you can see, it's really, everything is there. Everything. I gave you this. I gave you a nice font. This you can create using Adobe Illustrator. You can create, I'll do another video to show you how to do at least a banner, so that way you can use your own banner into these websites. These are the titles and stuff. These are the, remember, the font, awesome stuff. And of course, these are the buttons that go back up. And of course, you know, these are like the 3 columns with the what you would call it, affiliation. You know, you just go to GoDaddy, go down at the very bottom. So you want to be an affiliate, you want to run an affiliate, you want a the little code that they give you that you put in here, and then you say why, and they look at your website and they say, okay, all right, that sounds good, and then they give you a thing, and then you just put it inside the thing, which is, maybe I can show you. Now that we're here, let's show you. So what is it called again? Let's see. Okay, we got this one right here. See? The name, of course, you got your title. It's in a row. It's a container. It's a jumbotron. P means paragraphs. If you do that, it lines it up really nice and everything. Like for instance, this one is the telestream, which is this one. By the way, when you become, they give you this information. They give you this, and this, and of course this is the image that you're using. When you go to GoDaddy, they'll send you this whole thing, and you put it in there like this, and then of course your GoDaddy JPEG, right, your image. Then for the last one, the same thing, rescue time, you do that. So when you click on GoDaddy, let's see if I can, let's go to open it up on another. Well, you know, I told you Chrome, I always have a problem with Chrome. You know, you saw that it's at, first of all, localhost, it doesn't matter. But I know GoDaddy, see, you gotta have to have your username and password. I don't know what this is. I don't know what they come up with this from. But in another place, maybe it's because it's expired. Let me see what this one looks like. Oh no, yeah, there you go, see? And now it knows that it's you, look. So when you join in and somebody, let's say, oh, I want this, and they join in, then you get a commission. That's what that is. You get a commission. Same thing with GoDaddy. I think that one's kind of old. And of course, with the flip for Mac, play Windows media files on your Mac. I had a bunch. I had like a lot more, but I just wanted to show you 3. And of course, your little button to go right back up there, right? Like this. And let's go to image. This used to be a website. We showed you that. I broke it down. You could do that. Right. And of course, this is, you're going to use Stripe or PayPal, right? You can do that too. You just have to set it up. I'll maybe show you how to set that up. This thing here is what this is, right here. See how you want everything. You notice how this website doesn't have a menu, because you don't want nobody leaving. You want people to stay on your website. They can use these buttons. These buttons will go to the actual cart system. This is a picture. You want to look at it, fine. I don't know if you can click on it. Oh, yes, you can. There you go. I did this with pens, by the way. I mean, pencil. Then you got your questions. You do all this. This is, let's say if you're selling your services, this is what you do. Yes, I'm selling a service for artists to open up a membership, and you don't have to do it like that. You could do this kind of stuff. This is what I mean by brochure website, but it does have a purpose behind it. And of course, you gotta have like the check out how it works type buttons. This will jump down here. All PHP membership does. shows you how it works, that kind of thing. There's your 10 questions. You want to go back to the 10 questions, which is right here. If you wanted to, let's say, go to anywhere, really. I mean, check out the membership dashboard. Well, this takes you back there. Let's say you're looking to, and you know those buttons, I got this same button like 4 or 5 different times, but I called it the different things because see, Google likes that. So I go like this, it goes like this, goes into my Born for Art membership artist. See, it's a card system, same idea that I showed you before on here. See, I told you, man, just trying to show you that you can do a lot of things. Where am I? Where did I go? Is it here? No, that's not it. Oh, right here. Right? And then if you want to, let's say, oh yeah, $25 a month, I get to do all my stuff. I saw the description, you go like this, and you're in, Stripe, and boom, there you go. Then all you have to do is put your email address, your identification cards, and that's it. By you joining, that Born for Art membership site will charge you $25 a month. So I wanted to show you that you can do this. And then this piece right here to set up that part, I'll show you how to do that too in another website. I mean another video. Okay, so that way you can have something also to use. Okay, well, we reached at the bottom. We reached the end. I hope you liked. I know it was winded, it was long, but I'm going to give you this whole thing so that way you could have it and how it's creating this database situation. Yes, it's got a lot of HTML. This is a website I wanted to give you. Because you're going to learn that too anyway. You have to learn that. Yes, a lot of times in jobs, I'm going to a PHP pro, and guess what? Not only that you need to know PHP, you also need to know a little bit of JavaScript, a little bit of HTML. Now, somebody's going to go in to do JavaScript. That's it. They're getting hired for that, but they still need to know HTML. You still need to know those basic stuff. PHP is a server-side programming language, and JavaScript is a client-side. It only works on the browser, which is great stuff. Well, we reached the end. If you like this, please hit the like button. Please subscribe to my channel. This helps me out. And the more I get people that want to see this information, the more I'm going to expose a lot of the good things. I'm not going to charge people. You know what I mean? Like some other places, they'll show you a little bit and they say, well, if you want to know the rest, you got to go and Patreon or what is it? Some other site. Like Udemy or whatever to get the rest of it. No, I'm giving it to you for free. And that thing that I just showed you, that's a complete one. So thank you very much. Until next time, have a good night.